Good morning. Please stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Toni Lewis, a rising 11th grader at York High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Jeffrey Barefoot, and I welcome you to the Newport News Police Department's 22nd Basic Law Enforcement Academy graduation. Welcome distinguished visitors, recruit family members, friends, police personnel, and recruiting staff. I would also like to introduce those seated on the stage. Chief Drew, Honorable Judge Mills, Councilwoman Dr. Cherry, Assistant Chief Randall, Assistant Chief Hudgens, and Assistant Chief Grinstead. Also, I would like to recognize retired Chief Corvello, who's right up here on the second row. Ms. Karen Withers, Director of Human Resources to my right. Thank you for coming. Pastor Matt Beagle, please come forward for the invocation.
Welcome, Chief Drew, Newport News PD, friends, family, and especially Academy graduates. Before I open us in prayer, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Academy graduates, thank you for all that you've done, your instructors for training you up, and know that you are prayed for regularly. The family you joined today is one that is close to my heart, one that I spent 10 years in, and know that you are prayed for each and every day. Please join me as we go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, I thank you for this day. I thank you that we can come together to celebrate the achievements of this Academy class, the work they've put throughout these past months, God, and just I lay them before your feet that you'll give them your protection in all that they do as they move out onto the street, God, working each and every day in this community. God, we're thankful for the Academy staff that's educated them, that's trained them, God, and prepared them for the work they'll do. God, we lift up to you their leaders as they start to work on these shifts, and God, just that their leaders will be there for them to help continue their training in all that they do. Be with us this morning and let us glorify you, God. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
It is my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker, Young Police Commissioner Julianna Morales.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Julianna, and it is a very big honor to be here today. Today's a big day, isn't it, for all you guys? It's a day where you guys start the career that you have worked so hard for, a career that will test your character and integrity, a career that is going to be full of those good days and those days you wish you could forget. But most importantly, you guys have answered the call to protect and serve the community, and not many make that decision. As a youth in this community, I am very grateful for those who protect and serve, and that is why I consider it such an honor to be here today. As you guys know, each day on the job will be completely different, but how you guys enter that day should be the same. You should walk out onto those streets the same way that you will the first time, with the honor, the integrity, and the pride of the badge you wear. You know, on July 4th, 1776, America gained its freedom. And at that point, we became a nation, a people woven together, a people from many backgrounds, many cultures, and many races, all coming together as one. In 1838, Boston saw the need for an organized police force to protect and serve their community, and hereby establish the first police force in America. 44 years later, this city established its own police force, a force that you guys have now proudly joined. As you should already know, this department's motto is committed to the community. And as a youth of this community and YPC member, I think it is very important for officers to have a heart and an understanding for the people that they serve in their community. An example of that is the Young Adult Police Commissioners Group, a group that was created to bring youth to the conversation because Chief Drew and his officers cared about what we had to say. As a youth, I've always respected these officers of our community, but through programs like YPC, Explorers, my support and knowledge of the officers in our community has grown. I've seen firsthand their commitment to the community. The care and the commitment to the community that I've seen will forever be in my mind and has forever changed my knowledge and perspective of the department and the individual officers themselves. Now, I say all of that to tell you that by having a heart and an understanding for the community, you as officers will begin to expand the knowledge of and change the perspective of people, earning the respect of the whole community. I really, really want to thank Chief Drew for this invitation. It has been, like I said, a complete honor. I would also like to thank the officers that I've come across in programs like YPC and Explorers and CPAY. I appreciate the time and effort that you are putting into the youth. You guys truly are making a difference. And to the graduating class, I want to say congratulations and good luck.
So it drives them crazy when I interject things, right? Because some of us were up till 3 in the morning. So we're going to go a little off the cuff today. So if I doze off or just somebody jump in and just take over. But I wanted to interrupt a little bit today before I make some remarks to the class. It is some trying times in our country. There's some things going on that most of us have never experienced. And it is a hard time, believe it or not, to be in law enforcement. We get second-guessed a lot. Sometimes it's harder for others. So we have an officer in our department that some fine individuals decided to give a hard time on social media about why you would be a young, strong African-American female and be in this profession. And I cannot be more proud of how Officer Reed responded. So she's here today. And I'm going to ask her to stand up for a second. So just hang out, you're all into physical fitness, so just hang out there for a second. So I got a phone call from a Miss Janice Carney. And she is a project discovery coordinator with HR CAP. She teaches high school, talks to high school students. So when she saw this, she kind of had a conversation with some of her students, right? And she happened to grow up with JULIANNA. So she wrote her a letter, and when I heard it, it was impactful. So my curveball today is I'm going to ask Miss Carney, she has a special guest that she's going to bring with her, to come up and read that letter here. Not only so JULIANNA can hear it again, so I can hear it again, but I think it's important for the recruits, the officers that are here, and you all as our community, leadership in our community. So Ms. Carney, if you would make your way up, and your guest, and JULIANNA, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. There he goes. I don't want to fall off the stage. I hope you.
Good morning. My name is Janice Carney, like the Chief stated, from HR CAP Project Discovery. Chief Drew, we really want to thank you for allowing us to be here and giving us the opportunity to do this. I want to say congratulations to you all, and I definitely want to recognize my Black student who is here to do this. We had a lot of backlash, and I'm just so proud of him. His mom has been supporting every step of the way, and I just don't take it lightly. I'm really proud of you, Tajon. This is for the Newport News Police Department, for Chief of Police Steve Drew. From HR CAP Project Discovery, Statement of Encouragement, this second day of July, year 2020. On behalf of Project Discovery, HR CAP, which is a program that assists first-generation college students to maximize their opportunity to pursue post-secondary educational goals, we want to thank you for your service. Each day, you officers risk your lives due to the commitment to protect and serve. You officers leave your families for extended hours to face danger on the front lines and are forced to deal with the anxieties and mixed emotions of your loved ones. During this time, we realize that you all are faced with more time-consuming dilemmas than one could ever imagine. To exacerbate these matters, those of you who mean no harm and truly uphold your sworn responsibilities to the community have to deal with the backlash and turmoil of those who take it for granted. As a Black woman, a wife to a Black man, a mother of a Black son, I do stand with the community during this time of grief, agony, and pain after the hateful acts by law enforcement officers that killed George Floyd. I am also a family member, a friend, and a mentee of several officers. Recently, riots have broken out, precincts and businesses have been destroyed, and the human populations have joined together with forces more perverse than anything we've ever seen before. We, as a people, are putting our lives and the lives of you all in a severe, detrimental peril. Not only do you have to experience the wrath or fear of the coronavirus, but you also have to endure increased, heterogeneous, and irregular inhumane activity. Those few officers arrested for the murder of George Floyd, along with some other negligent officers, have taken an oath for granted. They have caused dishonor to all departments. They have terrified our parents and our children. Nobody feels safe. How do I know? Because I posed a question to my Project Discovery students that represent 4 different high schools between Newport News and Hampton. This also includes my small cousins who are children with police officers as parents. They were asked how they felt about the current world news regarding the death of George Floyd. While the majority of my Project Discovery students are Black, we are still a diverse program with a number of students of other races. Our Black students gave raw emotion as they expressed their personal pain and discomfort. At this time, I'll have my student, Tajon Genty, which is also a Heritage High School Class of 2020 graduate, to read inserts and statements from some of our students.
Thank you, Ms. Carney. Okay. One student, a Black male at Warwick High School in Newport News, Virginia, stated that he has no desire to go outside anymore. He doesn't feel that he is next, but George Floyd's family didn't think they would be facing this either, so he stays inside to play it safe. Another Black student from Warwick High School expressed her frustration and fear because she is Black and her father is an officer. She says in recent days, she has been uneasy when her father leaves for work. She says it worries her because she doesn't feel he is safe at work. She wonders if he is going to be hurt every day or if he will still have a job at the end of the day. Another Newport News student stated, "It seems like being Black is a curse nowadays, and that she hates the norm. She hates that she feels like she has a point to prove every time she leaves home, just because she is Black. She has to live on edge to let others know that she as a Black person will not stand for anything less than justice and peace." A Hampton High School student stated that she realizes all officers aren't bad, but the ones who are doing the right thing should speak up more so that we the people are made at ease. A group of Hampton High School students, all students of other ethnic backgrounds, expressed fear and hatred on behalf of their Black friends and classmates. They said the world is becoming confusing and they do not know if they could handle being a Black person today. They cannot understand completely, but they hurt for the Black population. The most alarming statement was made by a little 7-year-old Black boy in Maryland. His name is Mason. Mason has a little 1-year-old brother, and their father is a dedicated Metropolitan DC police officer. Mason had dreams of becoming an officer just like his dad and grandfather, until the most recent fatality by police. He said his father has to work a lot more and that they miss him a lot. He says that he is scared for his dad and that he now has no idea what he wants to be when he grows up. Mason's statements may seem so miniature, however, it speaks volumes about the way our small children feel. To shatter little kids' dreams and scare them every day while their parent is only trying to be great for the family is beyond desolate. Maybe it will not affect them in the long run, but honestly, mental health issues start with traumatizing situations like these.
The series of tragic events have affected both young and old. It's created disorientation. Children don't know if the police are here to help us or to harm us. We have to be transparent with our youth and still try to aid them in understanding that police are important. We need law enforcement. How do we do that with today's happenings? That is a question that will have constantly changing answers. However, the start of that would be someone in the Black community standing up on behalf of the Black race and our officers. We must speak from a place of peace with our pain and not destruct. In doing so, it is imperative to let you know how important you are to us. Today, we have neglected to remember that we need you. We have forgotten that it is you we call when we are in trouble. We have forgotten that it is you who we call when we are in danger. We forgot that it is you who we call to arrest those who commit heinous crimes against our loved ones. It's you who we call who goes to the school as resource officers to help educating our students, to protect our property, the break-ins, the trespassing, the missing children, and the unbearable disorderly conduct. Those are all the things we call you for, but the tasks don't stop there. The list is endless. Honestly, what will we do without police? You are needed. You are special to us. And although we have fallen in a state of chaos and distress, we have not become so heartless that we forgot that you all are human too. You all have families just like us. And to be quite honest, the struggles that we face as a race, you all are facing too. It's identical. We're just on opposing sides due to the circumstances. Therefore, we are very empathetic. We do apologize on behalf of our people for the chaos that has evolved. We do understand our people. All lives matter is a contrary statement to the current movement, and though it is most definitely a fact, it is the lives of Black people that we feel are at stake and in danger. It is not you all we know. It saddens us to be facing times like these. It saddens us that we live in fear for ourselves, and it saddens us because we also live in fear for you. It's disheartening because the ones we need to call for help are the ones we have the least confidence in. The ones who are supposed to protect us are the ones we feel want to destroy us as a race. This tragedy has raised so many different sentiments between law enforcement and civilians. It's caused controversy in households and workplaces and even out in the streets amongst citizens. It has caused us to feel like law enforcement is a threat to our race. And as previously stated, I stand with the Black community and I wholeheartedly understand. It just makes us wonder if our loved ones are next. However, we must commit to the peaceful protest and understand that in the words of public figure Alana Grant, hate won't win. We have penalized police departments worldwide for the loathsome, offensive, hateful act committed by Derek Chauvin on May 25, 2020. Our people demanded justice. Of the people, for the people, and by the people. We wanted to be heard. And after so many previous issues that have been swept under the rug, we felt like we've been unheard. The way we have gone about it may be lawfully incorrect, but justice had to be served.
Newton's third law of motion states that every action has an equal or opposite reaction. We do not have the authority to judge nor account for one's actions in these situations. The reactions of the people have been due to the severe, initially unaccounted for actions of police officers. George Floyd's death was the action that caused equal reaction. It was the breaking point. Our people are in fact tired for our ancestors, tired for our great-grandparents and grandparents, tired for our Black brothers and sons, tired Black mothers, just a tired race. Our actions are the result of us being tired, but we forget that peace and justice go hand in hand.
Therefore, please allow us to be the peace on behalf of the Black race and other races. We offer our deepest sympathies for all that you may be facing. As previously stated, it is not because of those of you true to your duty, but because of those who've compromised and abused their duty. Yes, we hurt on behalf of Black people and on behalf of the long-term effects that have risen since this began. We hurt on behalf of George Floyd's family and the families of others who have to live knowing that their loved one died at the careless hands of an officer of the law. We hurt on behalf of those Black lives lost before him. However, we are human and we hurt for you, just like you. We hurt for your families, for your mental capacity, for your day-to-day lives, as you as a whole have been targeted after Chauvin's actions. But if you remember nothing else, remember this. Black lives matter just as much as police lives. Police lives matter just as much as Black lives. Some police officers are Black. We protest no justice, no peace, and that is a matter-of-fact statement. While we as a people wait for justice, some of us must hold our peace. Just as while you great officers wait for the world to become idiomatic after such chaos. It's not fair to be discriminated against or treated a certain way because of the race that you were born into or because of the career that you've chosen to pursue, which corroborates the statement, Black lives and police lives matter. In closing, thank you. Thank you to the committed officers who have served and protected as sworn to do so. Thank you to those officers who stand with us and understand our rage. Thank you to those officers who are faced with grief and discomfort while their loved ones have to go on the front lines of tragedies. Thank you, police officers, for your commitment. To even stand at a time like this as an officer speaks volumes. Thank you for your character, for your integrity, and I wish you all nothing but the best. Empathetically written by Mrs. Carney and the Project Discovery students of Hampton and Newport News. But Chief, you told us that you don't like curveballs, right? Guys, I heard the chief in our meeting on Tuesday. He told us that today he celebrates 2 years on the Newport News Police Department. My family in Washington, D.C., my students, we've all been watching interviews, we've been researching him, and we've never seen anything like it. So this card that we want to read to you, it says, "Your love is blessed. Love in the family creates love in the community and in the world. We are celebrating your love. Happy anniversary. You're more than a chief, you're a hero that is God sent." Happy 2 years from the Project Discovery staff. We really appreciate you. Officer Reed, come on up here. Chief, we also have your certificate that we want to present to you in front of everyone. This city appreciates you. My parents, my siblings, my Black students, my law enforcement officer family, my students with law enforcement officer parents, your staff, I asked some of them. They love you. So this is a certificate of excellence awarded to Police Chief Steve R. Drew for your leadership, integrity, support of the community, and commitment to duty. HR CAP Project Discovery Program thanks you for your service. Awarded this second day of July in our year, 2020.
Can you get us all in there, man? Use the white ink.
This one is for Miss Officer Reed. All right. The world needs your voice. It needs your talents. It needs you. Hope you can feel everyone encouraging you every step of the way. Love, Miss Carney and HR CAP Product Discovery. I would like to please dedicate this award to Officer Jalissa N. Reed. Excuse me, let me read that again. I would like to dedicate this award to Officer Jalissa N. Reed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is one that's for you, cadets. All right, let me see. A big old congratulations. If anyone deserves a celebration, it's you. Love, Mrs. Carney and HR CAP Product Discovery. I would like to say a big congratulations to all of you. I may not know you personally, but I do wish that I can give you the optimism that I truly can give you right now. I hope that you will go out into the streets and you may make mistakes. Well, let's be honest, you are gonna make mistakes. But to not make mistakes is not human, and you are human. You are officers, you are human officers. And as a graduate like myself, the most you can do is look into the future blindly, but you will see what will come in the passage of time.
We thank you all, and I'm so proud of y'all for even standing, like I said, at a time like this. We don't take it lightly, and we thank y'all. It's an honor to be here. We wish you guys nothing but the best. Congratulations.
Recruit Haney, who was nominated by his peers, will now bring greetings from the class.
Well, I got to top that now. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for attending the BLE 22 graduation. We all know why we're here today. It's because we can finally go out in public. And I tell you what, there sure is a lot of people out in the crowd today. And somebody once told me that if you get nervous, you should picture the crowd naked. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that today because Human Resources is here. But on a serious note, I'm coming to you next. But on a serious note, I would like to thank Chief Drew for all that you do for this department. I am truly honored to have you as my chief. You are a person that genuinely cares about the people in the community and in this department. So thank you, Chief Drew. You are an outstanding leader. I'd also like to thank the Academy staff for being here today. Captain Bradley and Lieutenant Barefoot, thank you for keeping us going through the pandemic and always checking on us and making sure we had everything we needed. Lieutenant Barefoot recently had some remodeling for us to do at the Academy. We ripped up the carpet and we painted the walls. I did not sign up for that. I'm just kidding. But the Academy looks really nice now, and BLE 22's footprint will always be in it. Sergeant Churchill, that's you. I would like to thank you for all the help that you have given us in the Academy and the words of wisdom, right? You would always do that. I especially remember the time you helped me in Firearms Week. After you helped me, my shooting score went from a 70 to a 97 in just one day. So thank you, sir. Sergeant Bartley, thank you for all the help that you have given us in the Academy. I remember on day one of the Academy, while we were standing in attention, you were walking around the class, and as a former construction worker, I thought it would be respectful to make eye contact with you by following you around the room by moving my head. Well, little did I know that you are not supposed to move while standing in attention, but boy, did I find out very quickly. So, sir, thank you for the discipline and the guidance that you provided BLE 22. Sergeant Carter, I would like to thank you for teaching us defensive tactics. I remember on day one of DT, you were teaching us how to properly throw a punch. I just so happened to be the lucky guy holding the punching bag as you demonstrated that way to do that. And it was at that moment, as I felt the power of your punch, that I decided to never hold the punching bag ever again. MPO Hudson, that's you. Thank you for all your help and everything that you taught us in Firearms and in Driving Week. I remember when you taught us the class below 100. That was a difficult class to take emotionally, but it really opened my eyes to a whole new way of policing. MPO Poe, thank you for all the help and everything that you have taught us in Firearms and in Driving Week. The Academy has been a long 22 weeks, and what a time it's been. On day one of the Academy, Officer Thine was killed. as new recruits that hit us hard, and we all had that thought that that could be us. But we still had the drive to keep pushing forward and to never give up. So thank you, Officer Thime, for your service. You will never be forgotten. I would like to take a moment of silence, and I'm asking everyone in the room to stand and bow your heads. Please rise. Thank you. You may be seated. But that's not all our class went through. In late February, Officer Franklin's brother, Latron, passed away. Officer Franklin showed great strength in this time and stayed positive in the academy. And I'm proud of you, Franklin. Well, and then came COVID-19. And in the ups and in the downs of the academy, we were there for each other, and we all came together as one. But not too close, of course, at least 6 feet apart. But I stand here today and can honestly say that I am proud of my classmates. BLE 22 is graduating with all the recruits that it started with. This has only happened twice since 2015. And I believe that's because we encouraged, helped, and strengthened each other every day. From the start of the academy, you ultimately go in not knowing what to expect or how to prepare yourself for the career you're about to begin. And as Officer Ballhorse once told me, I always pictured myself as a law enforcement officer one day to follow in my father's footsteps, but to also pave the path for myself. I have accomplished so much in such little time, between developing a warrior mindset and forming lifelong friendships with the ones up here today with me. I have thousands of brothers and sisters who are the same as me. They will lay down their lives for me, and I for them. I am proud to be a part of that blue family now. Thank you, Officer Ballhorst. Now, in the academy, we had forensics week, and in this week, we had to work together in groups of teams of 4 to properly collect the evidence at a crime scene. This was the first time we had to do a project together, and we started to learn about each other. Some of us were stronger than others, but we helped each other in every way to pass each and every exam. When Firearms Week came, we were all so excited to start shooting and having fun outside the classroom. I watched people shooting go from not so good to great, including my own. And in Driving Week, my personal favorite, and probably the entire class's favorite as well, but in that week we got to do some pretty fun things, like learn how to drive at high speeds, take fast turns, drive in reverse, and of course, learn how to park. But I noticed in this week that some of my classmates' confidence they started to build, like Officer Ford, Officer Smith, and Officer Haynes. I am proud of you guys, and you are going to make great police officers. And like all classes, BLE 22 had its class clown, Officer Singleton, also known as Officer Carl Winslow from Family Matters. I mean, look at the guy. You're always cracking jokes and making people laugh. Officer Dooley, you were always there for me, giving me great tips for PT and always pushing me to run that extra lap. Officer Hayes, you were always encouraging me when exams were hard, and you would tell me to skate better, which in other words means you can do it, just have fun. Officer Pascal, on day 1 of the academy, I was so tired from all the PT we had to do. Remember that time that we had to do leg lifts by lying on our backs and lifting our feet 6 inches off the floor? I was physically so tired that I couldn't do it. But Officer Pascal lifted my feet with his own feet. And it was that kind of teamwork that told me I was in the right place with some of the best people. And I told him, I will repay you one day. So as I humbly say, I was having a hard time. You were there for me. So thank you. Well, with that being said, that leaves me to you, Officer Walzak. That's you. It's because of Officer Walzak that I am as sexy and buff from all that PT he gave us. The first time I met Officer Walzak, my body cried. And I tell you, if you ever have the chance to look up the word burpee in the dictionary, you will find a picture of Officer Walzak smiling ear to ear. PT was especially difficult when Officer Fulcher's mom made her famous banana pudding. That banana pudding is the best banana pudding on the East Coast. I don't know where you are, but it's good stuff. MPO Barry, AKA Papa. Thank you, sir, for the encouragement that you gave the class and to me. You pushed me more and further than I ever thought I could go. You always took the time to break concepts down and to teach us the right way to do things. You were even humble enough to teach us about the mistakes you made as a young officer so we didn't have to repeat them. Not many people know this, but I worked with MPO Barry's wife at my last job. And I would ask her, before I started the academy, how is he? Is he nice? Is he funny? And she replied, he is a dedicated officer, a great teacher, and would do anything for his recruits. I can honestly say that all of that is true and so much more. And I believe all of my classmates would agree with me. So, sir, thank you for everything. But I think the only thing that she left out is that you can be the rear end of a horse sometimes, too. MPO Barry, I'm only kidding, and you know I love you. But thank you for all the time and care that you have given to us in the academy and the classes before us, all 13. MPO Call, thank you for all that you have done for the class. You are a great encourager, a great teacher, and now that I'm not a recruit, a great friend. You would ask me every day of the academy, is this where you want to be, Haney? The first time I heard him say this, I thought to myself, am I going to get fired or something? But sir, I think I figured it out now. And class of BLE 22, I ask you, is this where you want to be? I believe he would say this to me to help me understand that this career is a commitment and that we can make a difference in people's lives now. And if I'm honest, at times I thought to myself, I used to make more money at my last job. And maybe you had that thought too. But he helped me understand that it's not about the money. Law enforcement is about how we can make a difference in a child's life by being a positive role model. Or it's about how we run to the danger instead of away. Or how we can make our family and friends feel safe in this city. So the answer is yes. This is exactly where I want to be, sir, and I believe I speak for my entire class. So thank you, MPO Call. We love you. So class of BLE 22, this is it. It's our time to serve and protect our community as new police officers. Remember to always be a professional, to always have integrity, to always be brave, and to never give up. The citizens of Newport News depend on us, and we depend on each other. Now, in closing, I would like to quote Officer Smith, as he would always say, "Let's go!" So thank you and God bless.
I feel I'll be getting transferred very soon after that. The Basic Law Enforcement Coordinator's Master Police Officer Wilbur O'Berry and Master Police Officer Call will present the James D. Fox Award.
The Chief and I are big baseball fans, so I'm going to throw a curveball as well, sir. Recruit Pascal is asked to say a few words before we give this award out. ahead, buddy.
Good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Drew, Assistant Chiefs, Sergeants, MPOs, and all other officers and staff. Thank you for being here for a special day for BLE 22. Granted, it is our day. I feel, and our class feel, that some individuals who are here today deserves a special recognition. So I ask Sergeant Bartley, MPO Call, MPO Barry, and Officer Walzak, please join me on stage. It's nice to see your faces like that. Thank you is just a small word, but we have to say thank you. For the exemplary performance in this academy, we were faced with many obstacles, but all of you guys showed perseverance, and when facing adversity, you showed us how to stay level-headed and keep our minds in the mission and task. So plain and simple, you four gentlemen standing in front of us today are true examples of excellent police officers. As instructors and supervisors, you all had a duty to take care of us recruits. And the way you took care of us is like we felt as if we were your kids. We don't get that everywhere. You perform your duties above the job description, and we thank you. So now I ask Officer Rusk, Officer McDevitt, Officer Franks, and Officer Beckles to join me on stage to present a small token of our appreciation. Yeah, Russ, go get it. Where's the box? Get the box. Yep. I'll hold it. Give me. Sergeant Martin. So, Officer Franks will be presenting to Sergeant Bartley. In appreciation of Sergeant Bartley, badge 0919, for his dedication and diligence supporting BLE 22 class through extraordinary circumstances. Hashtag COVID-19 survivors. For MPO Barry, badge 1319, January 23rd to July 2nd, 2020. We figured it out, BLE 22. Same with MPO Call, badge 1458, January 23rd, July 2nd, 2020. We figured it out. And this, as you can tell, is for Officer Walzak, badge 1759, January 23rd to July 2nd, 2020. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down. BLE 22. So, just once again, just want to say thank you to you all. I know there's many instructors, we probably would have went broke if we was to buy gifts for all the instructors that taught us. But thank you all seriously. We really appreciate the work that you did for us, and we love you all.
I'm a little upset that I can't eat that donut right now. All right, I'd like to take a moment to summarize the James D. Fox Award of Excellence and introduce the award recipient. James Fox began his career in law enforcement while he was attending college. He was a dispatcher, police officer, and a sergeant for the Virginia Commonwealth University Police Department. He was hired by the Henrico County Police Department in 1973, where he rose to the ranks and was promoted to the rank of Assistant Chief in 1991. He retired from Henrico in February 2004.
Chief Fox began his tenure with the Newport News Police Department on August 1st, 2004. As Chief of Police, he worked tirelessly to reduce crime and build the city of Newport News to a vibrant, growing community. He retired from our department in law enforcement in September 2013.
Throughout his career, Chief Fox had a passion for leadership and excellence in all aspects of policing. He had a vision to provide the best possible training to Newport News recruits and felt being in an independent academy was a critical step to accomplishing this.
Through his tireless leadership and vision, the Newport News Police Department Training Academy began an independent academy in 2009. And today we graduate our 20th class. Congratulations. We appreciate the leadership and direction and the safety of our community in his tireless efforts to making Newport News Police Department one of excellence. Our status as an independent and nationally accredited training academy is one of his legacies he has given us.
The James D. Fox Award for Excellence is appropriately presented to a graduate of the Newport News Police Department's Basic Law Enforcement Training Academy who displays academic performance, teamwork, leadership, passion, character, and commitment. The Academy training staff selects the award recipient based on the recruit's overall performance in these areas during the entire 22-week-long academy. It is my privilege to announce the recipient of the James D. Fox Award of Excellence to Donnie Pascal. Congratulations.
Where's his son at?
Noah.
Where's his son at?
Noah.
Noah. Come on up here, Noah. Come on, let's go. Can I be in it? I promise you we are a professional organization. I don't know about all that donut stuff. I'm not going to be long. I think people that have spoke today have said things much more eloquently than I can, much more professional and from their heart. I appreciate both of you. Young man, I appreciate you. It took a lot to come up here and say what you said. And I appreciate that. But I think it's important for our city, our community, our nation to begin to heal and move forward. As we see what's taking place across our country and our cities, even here in Hampton Roads, we've seen unrest and frustration. We've seen protests and rallies, demonstrations surrounding concerns of fairness and equality. And we've seen those demonstrations take on different shapes, sizes, and types of activities. We see them across our television screen every evening and every night and every morning. We cannot rewrite history, but we can improve and get better. But to do that, it takes hard conversations. It takes change. Now, we can write whatever policies we want, and it is important to have good, strong policies. And I'm telling you, to change things, cultures, it takes humanity, what's in your heart, empathy, compassion, and understanding. I think I have that in these 23 young men and women. I think we're heading in the right direction. First, I want to say thank you to Gabriella for counting those badges and making sure we had 23 up there. We'd have been a real mess if we'd have been short one. I appreciate you. But I just have a few comments, and then we're going to get to the swearing in and presentation of your badges. Franks, where are you at?
Yes, sir.
Franks, I came and talked to the class the other day, and I said, I want one challenge for this class. It's also going to be the challenge for this police department. Every single member from the chief of police down. Every day, moving forward, the recruits, chief of police, the assistant chiefs, officers. The next recruit class is sitting in the balcony. Franks, do you remember what I said our new challenge is going to be every day going forward?
Yes, sir.
Can you say it loud enough so the people in the audience can hear you?
Yes, sir. You said to speak to one youth every day for the rest of your career, sir.
Every day. Did y'all hear that? Every day. Every officer that puts on this uniform to have one interaction, one positive interaction with the youth of this city for the next 25 years. Now, there may be some in the audience that say that's just words. It's all right. Don't judge me by what I say. Judge me by what you see us do. There's a reason every time this organization, this department, whether it's a promotion ceremony, an award ceremony, national night out, it's our 9/11 service, our memorial service, we have a youth, right, take part in this program. Ms. Morales is a young adult police commissioner. It's important for her to come here and speak to these officers. But I'm trying to send two messages with that. One message is that the youth matter to me. It's not what I say, it's what I show. But it's also a message to our department that youth matter, and a message to the youth of our city. You all matter. You heard from a young man that spoke very eloquently. Very impressed. There's another individual in the audience. She gets a little mad when I call her out. But last year, I don't know what she was doing in history class, but she was also a young adult police commissioner. She spent some time with us. She wasn't a real big fan of the police department. It's all right. But she started volunteering and doing some things, and Lieutenant Morgan kind of took her under her wings and spent some time with her. Lieutenant Morgan spent some time with her. And I don't know how she got up there, but my assistant, my secretary's out with surgery. I don't know, can I say that with HR wise? I don't know. She's out with surgery. And I needed to have a new assistant to keep the calendar straight and make sure I'm at the right place where I need to be and on time. So Miss Destiny Wilson, who was just in high school last year, is now the secretary, the right word? You know, I don't know. Secretary for the chief of police. She's here today. So 20-year-old female is a secretary to the chief of police, making sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. So then I found out the other day she was out at the track. I don't know what she was doing. Probably slacking off, right? Apparently she passed the physical requirement to join the academy. Captain Bradley, she's still got to pass the written test though, right? All right, keep on. But youth matter to me. The health and wellness of this organization, the youth of this city, community policing, that's our foundation, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're here for. But we are going to be the police in this city. I'm not going to tolerate acts of violence against our citizen or our youth. I'm not going to have elderly individuals that are afraid to go outside in their own neighborhoods. I'm not going to do that. But we are going to police this community with the foundation of interaction. I hope that just by things you've seen and heard today, you feel that. It's not just something written on paper. I'm going to run this organization not like a business. I do have to be some fiscally responsible. Dr. Cherry's here from City Council today. But like a family. Not to cover for each other, but to hold each other accountable so that we make this profession and this agency the best on the East Coast, if not across the country. That we're a model for other cities and other departments. I'm not going to negative towards any other department. But I believe we are doing the right things here in Newport News. I believe that we were able to have open conversations. We were able to have discussions. We can march in our streets. We can sit at a table. We can have debates. And I think that's important. Now, I can say that to you, but I try to have some evidence-based. So when I have 2 or 3 departments that want to come here, how are you recruiting all these officers? How are you getting people to still come to your agency? How do you do the background investigation so thoroughly as Captain Bradley and his team do? And let me tell you, none of these individuals wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for the background investigators. I appreciate the work that you all do to bring in the best officers to this agency, into this community. So thank you all very much. It wouldn't be for our HR division, Lindsay Strickland and Miss Witherspoon, to make sure I'm doing the right things. Sometimes I like to move at a fast pace, and they like, wait, you got to get stuff signed first. We haven't even made an offer yet, and you're already getting them a uniform, Chief. It's all right. Keep things moving that way. But people matter, and our relationships matter. And I've said it before to these young men and women who are getting ready to patrol our streets and our neighborhoods, and the officers that are doing it today. You are not going to remember how many traffic stops you make, how many tickets you write. You're not going to remember how many guns you seize or how many arrests you make. But you will remember individuals that you interact with and have an impact on their lives. You will remember 5 years later when someone stops you and says, you were my school resource officer, or I remember when I worked with you, I remember you as my field training officer. You will remember those things. How we treat people matters, how we interact with people matters. The fabric of our community are the individuals that live, work, and play here. And later today, just a few moments from now, they're going to raise their right hands. It is the right hand, right? And they're going to take an oath. And listen to those words of that oath. They are going to swear to uphold the laws of this country and serve and protect the citizens of this country and of Newport News. Now I want to thank Pastor Beagle for allowing us to be here today in this beautiful sanctuary. There is a reason I like to hold our graduation ceremonies in places of worship. It's not what I say. Look at what I'm trying to do. I was sitting down last night. I was trying to write some final touches on some things I wanted to say. And how do I say it eloquently? And I thought, I can't say it any better than some of these other people. So I've got a few quotes that I want to read to the community in this class. Hopefully, you've heard most of them. And the class is right. The speakers have talked about this class underwent a lot. They were forced to come together quickly. COVID virus, the loss of an officer in the line of duty. We haven't lost an officer in 25, 26 years in this city. Our own recruit lost a loved one, a family member, not far from here. All those things. And then to see the things that are going on across our country. We are told in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. I had to make sure I wrote the verse down because Dr. Cherry would definitely correct me. For the Lord seeth not a man, not as a man seeth, for he looketh on the outward part, but the Lord looketh on the heart. In Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That means that we all make mistakes. We all deserve second chances. We all need help at times. Whether it's a baseball coach or a youth pastor or a mentor, officers, field training officers, family members, big brothers, whoever it is, we all need help at times. We're all here trying to do the right things. Decades of research and practice tell us that the public cares as much about how police officers interact with them as they do about outcomes in court cases. That's from the 21st century policing of President Obama after 2015 of what happened in Ferguson. He put a committee together with a friend of mine, Chief Ramsey, and he listed 6 things back in 2015. It's the same things we're talking about today. The first, building trust and legitimacy, being open and honest, having the community trust the individuals who wear this uniform. Policy and oversight, having certifications that are from outside agencies, making sure that city council and the mayor hold me accountable, the city manager. Technology and social media, community policing and crime reduction, training and education, and officer wellness and safety, to making sure that we have a work balance. Positive interactions with individuals will make all the difference. You get out of this profession exactly what you put into it. Surround yourself with positive people, with positive influences. You're going to come in contact with officers that have checked out already. Surround yourself with good people. Spend time with those officers that interact with citizens and interact with youth, and make that a focus. Dr. King said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Abraham Lincoln, his words were, a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That means regardless of our race, our ethnicity, or our zip code. That means we treat all the people the same, regardless of where you live or your status. Each of these texts and quotes have underlying foundation of equality. That all people, individuals, have dreams and ideals. Not by attacking one another, but through compassion, empathy, understanding, and by working together to achieve these goals, desires, and dreams. In this profession, we have the ability to display these characteristics every single day by the positive interactions and helping others. The catalyst of change for our country, catalyst of change for this profession, I believe, at least a start, are the 23 men and women that sit to my left that are about to become the newest Newport News police officers in this city. And I'm proud of them. They've undergone a lot. They're going to graduate and patrol the streets of this community. In fact, we even take them out of the academy for a week and let them interact with citizens in the community. Captain Tegens. Yes, sir. When I first met him, we talked about what we're going to do moving forward. He said to me, Chief, what we do matters. These little things matter. That's why we go to the high school football games. That's why we get to go and sit and watch in the hot sun, right, or in the rain. High school students that didn't get to have their graduation this year, but we got to go sit and watch them. And you see them come across, and every now they'll wave. You tell them congratulations. That matters. The media relations, Kelly and Jamie putting together I hope nobody really saw it, but a reading room where they decided it was important for us to read to elementary kids. So we did a makeshift, what's the word? Background, comfy couch, and we're reading Dr. Seuss books. One female called and said, my husband's going to do it, you make him do it, or I'll let him know about it when he gets home. And he did. And the cards and letters that come in every day, I've got a stack on my desk of young people, citizens, groups, churches that just say thank you. I think Ms. Carney spoke very eloquently when she said that the community needs you. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that has never been more true. You may not get called to barbecue dinners, come by to watch a movie, come by and just say hello. You'll respond to accidents where people are injured, loved ones that are missing, suffer from drug addiction, mental illness, autism. You're going to respond to some of the most chaotic scenes you can think of. And citizens are going to be frustrated because we're human. And they're going to look to each of you to bring calm. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot to ask an officer at 2:30 in the morning after getting a radio call of a violent crime or a robbery, let's say, to respond, address that situation, and get it right all the time. And I get to sit in my office and pull up a body-worn camera that every officer wears in this department, and I can break it down by seconds and by frame. I can take a break and review it. I can blow it up, make the picture bigger. I can call in professionals. What do you think of this? Let me take it 2 seconds further and sit in judgment. Or what someone throws on a screen, part of what actually happened, and expect them to get it right every time. That's unfair. What we can do is give the best training that we can to these men and women and encourage them and support them. And for people still to stand in line, to want to join this profession, to put on a camera, because I don't know any other profession that wears a camera all day long that records every interaction. I don't know too many professions that do that. These men and women do. Law enforcement has changed. We are better today than we were yesterday, and through technology and training, we'll be better tomorrow. But like I said earlier, we can write all the policies we want. What will make the difference? The best police officers are the ones that have it in here and get it from you. Their families, their loved ones, their pastors, their coaches, how they're brought up. I can't teach that. All I can show is that those qualities will enhance your career. I applaud you and I respect you. I want to thank you for choosing this department. Know this, and I shared it with your families last night. All of you are valued here. You're now part of our family. You're part of my family. And I will back you 100% as long as we're doing the right thing. Treat people with respect in the same way you would want them to treat you and your family. We will make mistakes. It is okay for us to say that we're sorry, and we will try to do better and change things and adapt. But I am not going to be a chief, and this is not going to be a department that waits to see something that happened in Minneapolis or to see something that happened in Atlanta and then think we need to do something different. We are constantly looking at what's next, whether it's money that we're going to spend on technology. We just had a meeting yesterday. It's more training. I want more training on de-escalation, procedural justice. I want more training on dealing with individuals who struggle with autism or mental illness. But I also need help from resources and outside agencies who are much better equipped to deal with that. I cannot give these guys 40 hours of training on how to help someone who is homeless. I need other entities that are specialized in that to help us do that. I call on them to help us. But at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, we're going to find that we're the ones standing there. We don't get off at 5 o'clock. And when you dial 911, anyone, regardless of how you feel about men and women in this uniform or this noble profession, when you dial 911, we will be there. We will be there. I promise you that. I am honored to have these 23. I am honored, and I'm also humbled to work with them. It's the first time in some years that every recruit who started the academy is still here when they graduated. All 23 made it through. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We're going to move forward. I can't wait to meet some of your families. Gabrielle, we're still good on 23, right? Okay. If we're missing one, it's Gabrielle's fault. We'll deal with it. I would be remiss if I did not highlight Chief Corvella. He is a mentor of mine. And when I got here a couple years ago, He came and met with me and sat down, and his words of wisdom to me were, treat people with respect and be fair. And that does matter. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
The Honorable Judge Gary Mills will now swear in the graduates.
Okay, y'all ready? Yes, sir. All right, repeat after me, please. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a probational police officer for the city of Newport News. According to the best of my abilities, so help me God. All right, congratulations.
We will now move into the badge and certificate presentations. As I call your name, recruits, please join Chief Drew and have your family join you to pin your badge. Right, please. Bryant Armour.
Nero Beckles.
Caitlin Ballhorst.
Ready? Chavez Cortez.
Christian Dooley.
Ryan Everidge. Antoine Ford. Anthony Franklin, Jr.
Miles Franks, Jr.
Michael Fulcher.
Jared Goodnight.
Crew Goodnight's family's in Ohio. They cannot be here today, so we ask his two recruit instructors to attend him today.
Caleb Haney.
Andrew Hayes.
Matthew Hayes.
Gemma Haynes.
George Martin.
Finn McDevitt.
Donnie Pascal.
Michael Rusk.
Calvin Singleton.
Michael Smith.
Mandy Woodruff.
One, sir. Izgi Yasil. Assistant Chief Eric Randall will now administer the oath of honor.
Before police officers take upon themselves the law enforcement oath of honor, it is vital that they understand what it truly means. An oath is a solemn pledge someone voluntarily makes when they sincerely intend to do what they say. Some of the key words of this oath is honor, integrity, character, public trust, courage, accountability, and community. Will all current and retired law enforcement officers that are present please stand and join me in reciting the oath of honor. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I would never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. So help me God.
Newport Police Dispatch would like to congratulate the Basic Law Enforcement Academy 22 on their graduation. Today you have chosen to take an oath, wear the badge, and make a difference. Welcome to the Newport News Police Department family. Be safe and good luck.
Will you please join me in congratulating our newest officers?
Pastor Matt Beagle, will you please come forward to deliver the benediction?
Thank you again for being here, and BLE 22, congratulations. Please join me as we go to Lord in prayer. Father God, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for these 23 graduates who have begun their career in law enforcement, God. Be with them as they head out to work in this community. God, as this is a community and throughout the United States now, it's a time of struggle and just a time of people seeking justice and peace. God, let this police department, let this community, let this city be an example to those throughout the country, God. God, just be with each of them, be with their trainers as they do hit the streets. God, be with this community, and let us grow together, for it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.